Ladies and gentlemen, we've been through a whole week of baseball now, and we have undefeated teams. We have teams that never have won a game. We have torpedo bats. We have just the utmost of nonsense in this week of baseball, and it's already insane. So we're going to dive into it, and the first thing that we're going to go talk about is the standings for each team and what's going on, like what's crack-a-lacking, like who's leading the divisions, who's at the bottom of the division, and everything in between. It's like an Oreo cookie double stuffed, man. And we're going to talk about this whole torpedo bat thing because I feel like that's a thing that we need to talk about. First and foremost, in the American League, we have the East, Central, and West. Obviously, in the East, we have the Yankees winning with a record of 5-2, and the Orioles are at the bottom 3-5. So I thought the Orioles were going to do a lot better, but apparently they can't get their stuff together. The Blue Jays are holding strong as well. The Blue Jays had a rough start in the opening day. My prediction for Blue Jays winning was terribly wrong, like awfully wrong, like 10, it was like 2-10 or something like that. Just off the charts bad. But the Yankees have been off to a great start, breaking some records. Or is it the Yankees? No, I don't know if it's the Yankees, but Aaron Judge has homered 6 times already, and it's only been they've only played 7 games. 7 games, is it? Yeah, 5-2, so 7 games, and Aaron Judge has already hit 6 home runs or something like that. That's absurd, and it took him like 28 games to do so the last season. I've seen a statistic about that. But the Red Sox are kind of battling a little bit. Rays are kind of like that middle team where it's just like, we're here. We're just trying to hold on. And then in the American League Central, the Tigers are up 3-4. As of seeing this, these are the rankings now. As of April 5th, this is what the rankings are. So obviously when I talked about undefeated team, we'll get into it. So the Tigers are 3-4. The Tigers just won their game. The American League Central is struggling a little bit. They all have a loss record. None of them are above 500 or at 500. The Tigers are leading in 3-4. The Guardians are leading 3-4. The Royals are leading 3-4. Then the Twins and White Sox are currently at 2-5. So they're in the bottom. The bottom dropped out on those guys. There's not much to say. Tariq Skubal he's struggling a bit this season. He's 0-2. He's had like a few strikeouts. Obviously, he had the Dodgers who had to go against. He had to go against on opening day. So that's a struggle. But it's still, it sucks to see him struggle a bit. Hopefully, he'll turn the leaf and he'll get back to where he needs to be. There's a gargantuan amount of pressure on him, so I would understand why. It's a little scary to be out there. And then American League West, to a surprise, the Rangers with a whopping 6-2. That's insane. That's mind blowing. And then the Angels are 4-3. Then the Astros are 3-4. Mariners are 3-5. Athletics are 3-5. So the Astros are struggling a bit. They struggled. They won their opener, but they're struggling a bit. They went. I think they shared the series, or I think they won the series on the Mets. I'm not quite sure though. I would have to do more digging. That's the American League ranking. So the Tigers, Guardians, so the Central's still up to toss, but so far the Rangers and the Yankees are coming out on top in the first week of baseball. If we go over to the National League, we have the Phillies being 6-1. Now the Phillies they did lose I don't know if it was their first game or not, but they did lose, so they weren't one of the undefeated teams in the first week of baseball. But the Phillies are doing insane right now, and they are actually, as of yesterday, the Phillies are the ones who dethroned the Dodgers of their undefeated season. Yes, spoiler alert, that's who was undefeated. The Mets are behind with 4-3, 2 games behind, so it's not doing so. The Mets have off to a rough start. Juan Soto is off to a rough start. Everyone's kind of on Juan Soto's case, but the Marlins are at 4-4. The Nationals and Braves are 1-6 and 1-7. The Braves were actually, as of last night, the Braves finally won their first game, but the Braves were the only team throughout the entire week of baseball that did not win a game. They lost. They lost every single game for the first week of baseball, which is insane because it's the Braves. I really thought the Braves were going to do a lot better. But we're going to go down to the National League Central with the Cubbies. The Cubbies are doing great, 6-4. They have obviously the few extra games because of the Tokyo series. The Cubbies are 6-4, and the Kyle Tucker's doing pretty good. They're living up to what they wanted to live up to. The Cardinals are 4-3. Brewers are 4-4. A lot of teams are 500, so they're kind of just trying to survive. The Reds and Pirates are both 2-6. The Reds break a record of, since the 1950s, the only two teams that have scored 1-0. Like they got outscored 1-0 in 4 games. The only other team that did that were was it the Cardinals? I don't know what team it was. I already forgot where I seen this statistic at, but it doesn't matter. The Reds have not been giving run support to their pitchers, even though the pitchers have been doing phenomenal. And then Pirates, Paul Skeens had 2 outings, and his first one wasn't off to a great start, but his second one was a lot better from what I've seen. So they're still struggling, but they're rebuilding. A lot of these teams are rebuilding. So the National League West team, the Dodgers are obviously 8-1. The Padres are 7-1. So the Dodgers and Padres, throughout this entire first week of baseball, the Dodgers and Padres were the only teams who were undefeated. They won every single game except from last night. Last night was the first time that both teams lost their first game. And then the Giants are 6-1. The Giants lost earlier on in the week, so they weren't undefeated, but the Giants are still doing absolutely amazing. Verlander had a couple outing, or at least one outing, and the Diamondbacks are 5-3. Rockies are 1-6. So far, the National League West side of the baseball area, they are the best league so far. That's blowing everything out of the water. Every single opponent out of the water. Because the Diamondbacks, even though they're 5-3, they're still doing great. They're still doing fantastic. Now that we got the standings out of the way, let's get into some things real quick. Let's get into some fun facts. I got the research a little bit. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to address is that Jurickson Profar, or however you say his name. I'm awful at names. Okay, I'm sorry, but on March 31st, Monday, it says that the Major League Baseball Players Association is releasing a statement below on behalf of Jurickson Profar. Braves fans, today is the most difficult day of my baseball career. I am devastated to announce that I have been suspended for 80 games by Major League Baseball and the Commissioner's Office for testing positive for a banned substance this offseason. This is especially painful for me because of anyone who knows me and has seen me play knows I am deeply passionate about the game. There is nothing I love more than competing with my teams and being a fan favorite. And he goes on saying that he would never willingly take a performance-enhancing drug that would not allow him to play. That is illegal in the game of baseball. He wouldn't willingly do it. So it was a substance that he didn't know he couldn't have. And there are cases and things like that. There are moments that players have that they don't know that was a banned substance, or something that they digested or used that wasn't actually legal, and it's just something that sometimes gets underneath our noses. And so unfortunately for Jurickson Profar, he is out for 80 games, so practically until the All-Star break. And then Rafael Devers, for the first three games, I don't know about anything further, but for the first 3 games of the week of baseball, he went hitless, and he struck out. And I think throughout the entire week of baseball, he struck out more than any other batter in baseball history. And you guys can fact check me, but in the first 3 days, it says Boston Red Sox DH Rafael Devers just set a major league record by striking out 10 times in the first 3 games of the season. So he's breaking records, just in the terrible way, completely wrong way than what the Boston Red Sox Association wants him to do. The organization wants him to do, because Rafael Devers is a good hitter, but unfortunately he's dealing with some hitting issues, a slump. So let's go on to talk about these torpedo bats. Torpedo bats are just being heard all over the world from every single player using them. Not every single player, but the players are breaking out and using them. So basically where a torpedo bat is that they move the thickness of the bat down to where the area that most hitters would more likely hit the ball. Like, it's kind of cheating. It's kind of a cheat code. I'm surprised the MLB hasn't banned them yet, because the Yankees have homered again and again and again over and over and over again and absolutely just obliterating opponents because of the torpedo bats. And there are more people who use them, the Phillies, the Braves, and there's not the entire team, but there are a few players that use these torpedo bats. They are actually very obnoxiously good. Like they actually they take the world's worst hitter, aka if I'm batting against Aroldis Chapman when he was throwing his 107-mile-per-hour fastball, and you give me a torpedo bat, if I hit that one time, it may hurt like heck, dude. But but if I hit it, it's probably gonna do something because the fact is that if I put the bat on the ball, then more than likely it's going to have better contact because of the position of the. I don't know what it's like theoretically like called. I don't know what it's factually called, but it's just the more wood part of the bat. If it hits it, it's gonna do a lot more damage than if I just get pinched on the end of a bat. If it was a normal bat. So all the Yankees team is using them. Everyone on the Yankees team is using it. Aaron Judge, Jazz, is it? Oh, I forgot his name already. The catcher. The catcher, yeah, that guy. I think Giancarlo's using it. Like everybody on the Yankees is using them. Yankees are the ones who put it there in the first place. So torpedo bats, is it good? Is it not? Let me know down in the comments because the MLB is not doing anything about it. And as sooner or later, everyone's just gonna be using torpedo bats. I want to use torpedo bats. I feel like I could be a lot better of a hitter. I feel like I could have made it to the majors. No. That the first week is hectic. It's mind blowing. It's all over the place. Torpedo bats, undefeated teams that never won a game. Again, lots going on. Some of the best pitchers who were projected to win Cy Young awards, or some of the best pitchers who won Rookie of the Year last year. Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, like Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani's doing great still. I don't know why I said it, but I still said it. But a lot of these pitchers are struggling. A lot of good players and a lot of good teams that we thought were going to do a lot better in this season are struggling this season. Like the Rangers are 6-2. Nathan Eovaldi threw like 9 innings pitch and it was hitless, and just insane, just mind blowing. And I can't wait for the next week of baseball. So I will keep doing these weekly recaps on baseball and see what changes within the next week. Will the Yankees be on top? Will the Yankees keep hovering? Will the Tigers, Guardians, or the Royals be crowned the number one team in the Central League? Like, what's going on? What's going to happen? Are the Padres going to overrun the Dodgers? Or the Dodgers going to be worse like this next week? I don't know. There's questions upon questions, and we will get answers. So stay tuned for the next weekly recap, and I will see you guys after the next week of baseball is over with. Bye.